You are listening to Hardhouse History with Paul Glazby.
Tara Reynolds, take
Hello.
3. We've moved to the garage for the better internet.
Yeah, a few technical difficulties
Yeah.
down here.
Right, that sounds a lot better. Okay, so
Good. Okay, good.
Tara, take us back.
Yes.
Let me guess. If I was to guess, you got to London in 95.
Correct, I did. Yes.
Continue.
Someone's been doing their homework before they interviewed me.
So yeah, you get to London in 95. You start clubbing around 97.
Mm-hmm.
Much like
Same as
myself.
you.
That's right.
Yep.
And then you meet Phil along the way. Obviously, you know, big influence on the DJing. Funny story. One of like in Sheffield, we used to like our sort of access to Hardhouse. You know, we had the Turner de CDs and the trade CDs, but trying to get anything else. And I actually had a cassette. I had a Spencer Freeland one, and I actually had a Phil Reynolds cassette.
Yeah. Oh,
and I don't know where it was from, but yeah, like someone had bought it from a you know, some shop where you buy bongs from, and they were selling Phil Reynolds CDs. You know, just like they just write it on.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a Phil Reynolds tape. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, well before I knew who Phil Reynolds even was.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah. So you start. Well, you tell the story.
Yeah, so I started clubbing in 97 and I met Phil a few months later. And the DJing thing started when one of my girlfriends had started playing out. And up until that point, I thought that to be a DJ, you had to be born with a talent. Like to be a singer, you have to have a good voice, right? So I just didn't. Not so much these days, maybe. But I thought, well, to be a DJ, you got to have some special talent that you're born with. And so it never occurred to me to play until my friend Lee started playing. And then, then when she started playing out, I was like, oh, maybe I can do it too. And that's how it all began. It was a New Year's Day and I just jumped on the decks at home and had a mix. And I played, my first gig out was a house party. And I hated every second of it. I was so nervous and I just wanted it to be over just so I didn't do a big train crash mix. But people loved it, but yeah, I was very nervous. And then I think my first paid gig out was for Fever on a Sunday night in central London. So Eamon used to give the first slot to people who were just starting out. So that was where I'm pretty sure that was my first paid gig. And then I played at Euphoria a lot as well in Acton. Yeah.
Well, going back to what you were saying before about, you know, having a talent, I think you do have a talent. Like it's there's certainly a difference because loads of people can learn to mix, to beat match, but then you know there's not lots of people that have come in on this podcast 25 years later that have had an impact on people and been able to, you know. So I think there certainly is an element of you know. The funny thing is, it's not. I don't think the skill of DJing. Obviously, you learn to beat match, and you learn to. In fact, I learned a new term a few weeks ago called phrasing, which is basically, you know, like where the tracks. You know, like so. I saw this Instagram video, and this guy he'd basically drawn out on 2 pieces of paper the track. So it's like the intro, and then the. You know, like the little drop at the beginning, and then the lead into the break, and then the breakdown, and then he was basically putting these pieces of paper further together or apart, and was using the term phrasing. You know, so if you drop a track here, and I'd never heard that before. A week later, I'm with Amber doing the live stream with her, and I did a mix, and she said, "God, I love your phrasing." And I'm glad I'd seen that video because otherwise I would have been going, what does that mean? You know? I've been doing this for 27 years.
Phrasing. Do it all the time.
we just call it where you drop it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's probably instinctive, isn't it? Like
Well, that's what I'm
if you
saying.
know your music, you know where to drop it, so you know it's going to sound good and it's not going to clash, or you're not just going to have a minute of just beat. So maybe we do phrasing, but just instinctively.
And that's what I'm saying. That's like the sort of intrinsic sort of talent that some people have and some people don't. Some people just don't get it. Some people, I was talking to a guy the other day. In fact, his episode came out today. Phil, who did the Tony DeVee documentary, he was the guy that made that. And he was saying how he just always struggled to learn to beat match. He said he just couldn't do it. So, you know, it's funny, isn't it, how some people can get it. But even the people that can get it and can beat match doesn't mean you can DJ.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, because there is so much more to it, isn't there? It's so I guess there is a talent that, to constructing a set and reading a crowd and being flexible, as in changing it up if what you're playing is not working, and being engaging. And so there is a lot more to it than just the music.
Yeah. Pardon me. So, so you're playing around London, and then in our take 2, you mentioned about getting signed to Tidy, and that's when things. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, it's actually a very interesting story, and not many people probably know it. Is that Scott, who you know very well, signed me to Tidy without having heard me play. He just booked me on reputation. I can't even remember. I was working in an investment bank at the time, and he sent me an email. I can't remember even how that connection came about, but he sent me an email and he just said, "I've heard good things about you. Would you like to join Tidy?" I'm like, sure. And that's how it all began with Tidy. It was like, he really stuck his neck out because, he could have signed me.
Scott Cooper.
Yeah, Scott Cooper.
Oh, okay, yeah, because he did work at Tidy for a while,
yeah. So it was him that signed me to Tidy. So he could have really got egg on his face if he signed me and I played out, and he'd be like, "Oh my God, she's so bad." So it was a bit of a risk that he took, but paid off, I guess.
Yeah. Wow, well, I didn't even know that.
No, not many people do.
Yeah, I saw Scott a couple of weeks ago. He came to. I was back in England, and for someone I always think. I don't always think. I actually had this thought just a few years ago. Like, as you get older, you kind of reflect on things differently than like in the moment. So we've been mates. Like we went to the same school together from being like 12 years old, and then we were like. We weren't really friends at school. I used to sit next to him in science, and there's another friend of ours, Paul, who they'd grown up together, so they were always mates. And I sat next to him in history. And then the week that we left school, my mum and dad were going away and leaving me at home on my own for the first time. So I obviously organised this big party, and I said to Scott and Paul, like to come to this party. And they came, and then they just never left. Like, that night, we became friends. Like, and the people that I used to hang around with up to that party, I just never saw them again. And the people that they hung around with, they never saw again. And the three of us were just like best mates then, till now.
Wow, that's a good story.
Yeah, it was
changed the whole path of your life.
Yeah, and because my mum and dad were, so like they came to this part and then just stayed for like a week at the house, and yeah, that was it then forever. And then obviously he worked at Vicious Circle. He used to drive me around. He ended up working at Tidy for a while, but yeah, when I go, so last year when I went back for Insomniacs, he came out, and then this year he came to Insomniacs, and then the week after he came to Glazby Town. So yeah, it's. But sorry, the realization I had a few years ago was like, shit, what must it have been like for him being my friend, and all of a sudden I'm just flying around the world, like and doing all these. It must have been fucking bizarre.
Yeah,
because I was doing it. You know what I mean? Like I was just in the thick of it, and
yeah,
it was like such a a weird scenario. And the first club I ever went to, it was me and him that went to it. Well, me, him, and Paul, we all went together, and me and Scott shared a Rapper Speed, and then that was it. I was just like into it then. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
But I should get Scott on actually, because
Yeah.
he'll have some stories about back in the day that I won't even remember.
Yes. And he was very instrumental in my DJing career. So
yeah. Well, I'll he might not even remember that, so I'll speak to him later. I'll tell him. And then, so when you were at, I'm trying to get the timeline right. So were you at Tidy? Were you still in London when you got signed to Tidy?
Yep. I think
Because
I got
back in
signed
the
to Tidy in 01.
01, right? Okay.
But
And
then I
because
moved
we lived together
north
for a while.
in 03. Yes.
03, right? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was 03 because that's when Phil and I separated, and I moved up to Sheffield, lived with you, and then moved to Doncaster. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then, sorry, I just thought of something.
You're talking about the timeline. Sorry, I think I talked over the top of
you. No. I was, so you were playing at Frantic by then, weren't you? You were like a regular. So I remember we used to play the foyer, didn't we, at Brixton Academy together? Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We used to go off in the foyer.
Oh, the foyer was amazing. Like I played the main room, I think twice, definitely once.
Yeah.
I did want, but yeah, I'm like, get me back in that front room.
So good.
I don't need all this shit. I used to like it when people were like, up super close.
Yeah. That was actually one of those sets. I reckon you were there. One of those sets in the foyer was like one of the highlights of my DJ career because everyone was chanting my name. And like you just don't think as this humble, country Victorian that anything like that is ever going to happen to you. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just remembered what I was going to say. So yeah, back then there was basically like 4 female. Obviously there was others, but like if someone said 4 female hard house DJs, you said Lisa Lashes, Anne Savage, Lisa Pinup, Tara Reynolds. That's what it was like.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, definitely. Like back in those. God, this dog just loves licking my leg. I don't know what it is. Every time. Yeah, definitely. Back then, it was like there weren't, because obviously the Tidy girls like Rachel Orban was it, but she I've never seen Rachel Orban play ever. And I've been around all that time. And then when did you start producing? Because some of the questions we've got from people here are in reference to some of the tracks that you did, and obviously we did one together. But when did you start producing?
The first track I did was with Steve Blake, and it came out on Phil's label Impact. The tune was called Ignite, which we've just done a re-release of with a bit of an update. That would have been, I reckon, in maybe 02, something like that.
Yeah.
And then I did some remixes for some labels. I don't even know if they're around anymore. I did a couple of remixes, and then I think I started doing stuff on Tidy because I'd been signed to them by then.
Right. Yeah, because in fact, let's just get into this now, because Creepshow 303. Shout out to Tara, who is one of my top 3 favorite hard house DJs, alongside Justin Bourne. And
amazing.
I'm reading this word for word. And the man himself, Glazer. Licking himself out. I did right. Creepshow 303 wrote it, not me. Matt has this thing about how I love to talk about myself.
That's very funny. Well, you're reading it, so that makes it okay.
Unfortunately for Matt, he has to be sat here for every episode, so here he comes.
I'm fairly certain that whatever 303 is a pseudonym for Glazby. Yeah. This is the producer out.
It's my no, it's definitely not. I'm sure his name's Scott. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, Scott. That's it. Yeah, Scott.
Scott Marino. I'm sure that's Creepshow 303. Fuck you, Matt. We'll get this in the edit.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to
Yeah.
the serious topic of Hardhouse. A
Yes.
couple of questions. You get. Oh, he's pinched this from the Tidy Boys podcast. A couple of questions. You get to DJ one final time. I think I'm going to know the answers. What club are you playing at?
Do you know it would probably be Rewind?
Oh,
here
I
in
didn't know.
Australia. Yeah.
Right. Oh,
well,
in Brisbane.
in Brisbane, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just become just an incredible event. Well, it really was from day one. Can I answer this in two parts? So if it was my final one, I'd play Rewind. But if I was going to be flown over to the UK for it, I'd probably like Tidy Weekender or Frantic.
Yep.
Yeah. What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say back in that foyer.
Oh, well, yes. If those events were still going, I was thinking of events that are still running.
Oh, no. I mean, this
yes.
is all imaginary, Tara. So, just...
Oh, yeah. Okay, so back in the foyer with everyone going, Tara, Tara. I do that.
Imaginary, just like Scott 3033.
We're going to call this the Matt White episode.
Stop stealing my thunder, Matt.
Okay, so yeah, any club, like
all right,
past, present, like
yeah, definitely
so Tidy
the foyer.
Weekender. The foyer, okay.
Yeah, Tidy
excellent.
Weekenders were amazing. Yeah, I had some amazing experiences at Tidy Weekender. Yeah.
And then what peak time tune are you dropping? And what tune are you ending your set with? I should have sent you these before so you could be prepared. But
I know. Well, I'm not being a sycophant, but Motherfucker was one of my signature tunes that I played in so many sets for so many years. I often finished a set with that. Yes, not being a suck, but that's one of my favourite tunes.
Do you know that got turned down? Do you know the story of that?
Mm-mm.
That was a remix for Chris.
Oh.
Yeah, Chris C asked me to do a remix for, must have been Merhawk. And I can't remember what the original track was, but there wasn't much to work with from my point of view.
Yeah.
So I think the Hoover kind of followed the pattern of the riff, I think, from memory.
Okay.
And there was the little vocal, the motherfucker snippet. But that was it. That's all I'd used from the original track. And he didn't like it. And I thought, well, it's so different from the original. Fuck it, I'll just put it out.
Yeah.
That's how it came about. All my biggest tracks have been rejected by. Well, that's not. No, Kick It and Motherfucker. They were both rejected by everybody that they were offered to.
Yeah.
Kick It, we offered it to everybody, and they were like, "Nah, thanks." So that's how Vicious Circle started. But yeah, Motherfucker. Chris C's like, "No, it's not for me." And then.
Oh well, I'm glad you released it. Glad you had your own record label to put it out on. And there's actually one of my favourite tunes that probably didn't get played that much, but it's one of Phil's tunes called Vinyl Addiction. And it just, it's just one of those ones that gives me goosebumps every time. I still have it banging loud in my car when I'm driving around.
That's nice. You can get divorced and still play his tracks.
Yeah, no. We had a very amicable divorce.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one of my other favourites, like a peak time tune for me. Yeah, there's probably 10 others, but I can't think of them.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, we've got some others to come back to. So you signed to Tidy, you're doing remixes for other people. And then what was the first track you did on, was it the Mercy track? Was that the first one on Tidy, or? I
don't know if that was my first one or just my biggest one. I did a remix of, oh no, I can't think of it. It's a really big tune. And Nick Sentience did a remix of it, and I'm sure that was out on Tidy. I'll have to get back to you on the name of it. But I did so I did that remix. And then I did a track with Ingo called Say Goodbye, and that was released on Tidy as well as part of like a little EP. But I can't remember the order of these things, but Mercy was definitely my biggest track that came out on Tidy.
Yeah. I always struggle with the timeline. I have to think who was I with at the time when that one, you know, like,
Yeah, yeah.
where was I living? Who was I living with when I did that?
Yes,
Time, you know,
same.
like, and then try
And
and
we're
piece it together.
yeah, and it's 25 years ago, you know, so much has
Exactly,
happened
yeah.
since then. So a bit fuzzy on the
Yeah.
details.
Yeah. So then so it's 2003. So what year did you go back to Australia?
October 05.
05, bloody hell. I was going to guess at like 06, 07, but right, okay. And then since you've been back in Australia, like, how's did you just kind of step away from the DJing, or did you sort of keep doing it for a while? Like, what was the transition for you?
I kept doing it for a while. Steve Hill was looking after my bookings for me. So I maybe played for another 2 years or something. And then I did a farewell gig. Like I was playing it somewhere in Sydney. It was something through Steve. Like I did, you know, the big farewell. He even bought me this gorgeous Tiffany bracelet, you know, as a celebration of my DJ career. And that was it. I was done. But then a few years later, I got offered a gig to play on a boat
9 months
on Sydney
later.
Harbour. I got like to play classics on a boat on Sydney Harbour. I think it was for Frantic. I was like, well, as if I'm going to turn that down. Like that would just be epic. And so then I was back. I did a John Farnham and came back again. And I've been playing since then. So that must have been about maybe 09 or something like that I've been playing. But I only play a few times a year.
Yeah. Well, that's the same for me. Like, since I did that 10-hour set in Storm, I probably averaged once a year until last year. And then but it's like a funny thing now, because people are saying, "Oh, you're back," which I guess I am. With waiting for Matt to laugh. With the productions stuff, but the DJing, it's when you're over this side of the world, it's hard, isn't it? Because there's no, you know, not there's no gigs here, but there's not a lot.
No.
And you can't be flying back to England all the time. You know, I can maybe do it once, twice, maybe a year. But you know, when you're a grown up and you've got a business and you're trying to sort of handle life, kids, you know, you can't just be nipping off. It's not like when you're in your 20s and you just go, yeah, I'm just going to go and do like when I lived in England, I'll just go and do a tour of Australia for 3 or 4 weeks. It's just, you just can't do it.
No,
it is like a challenge. I was talking to the guys, you know, High Dosage in New Zealand, and they were saying, you know, how difficult it is to sort of establish yourself and break through when you're in, because obviously New Zealand's even more remote than Australia. So, you know, like it's hard, and I get what they're saying now. You know, I have offers for gigs in England all the time. I'm like, well, no, I can't just can't do it. So
no, that's right. Yeah.
It's tricky. So, and then when you got back to Australia, where did life take you then?
What did I do? So in 05, so I just worked for a couple of years and then met Rob, my second husband, now ex. I'm not very good.
I was laughing at the face.
Married. So we got married, had 2 boys, and then I just, you know, was stay-at-home mum, looking after the kids. I actually did 2 trips back to the UK to DJ for Frantic both times. That was in 2012 and 2015. And then I was just playing sporadic gigs in Australia, you know, just a couple of times a year, as I said. And then in 2017, I went back to uni to do a nursing degree, which I finished in 2020, that awful year. And yeah, I've been a nurse since 2021. So that's what's happened in a nutshell, since I moved back to Australia.
So from DJ to RN.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Well, I'll still do both. And when people at work find out I'm a DJ, they're like, it's a real spin out for them. You know, I guess you don't meet many nurses who are also DJs. International
DJs.
I guess, yes. Actually, one of the guys I work with, he's also a DJ. So, but yeah, we're a rare breed, I think.
Yeah. I always find it funny when, like, obviously being in real estate, I talk to like a shitload of people, and if the DJing thing sort of comes up, and then someone, oh yeah, my nephew's a DJ. Do you know him? And they'll say his name. I'm like, I'm sorry, no. But I'm sure he wouldn't know me. Like if you said who I am, he's not going to know me either. Like it's the whole genre thing. Like if you told me the biggest house DJ, I probably don't. I don't think I would have heard of him. Or yeah, I mean, obviously Tiesto and people like in trance, but like, there'd be some real big names that I just don't even know. Well, I guess even within Hardhouse now, because I've been so out of touch with it all. But yeah, it's very sort of compartmentalized, isn't it? And the you just kind of don't know who other people are. The person I'm talking to in real estate, he's probably like a bedroom DJ, or he plays in his local pub.
That's right. Yeah. Actually, I've got a funny story about that. A couple of years ago, I was at a friend's house party, and there was a DJ there. I don't know his name, but apparently he's really well known internationally. He's either trance or his house. I think he's Canadian. He was really lovely, and I went and spoke to him, and I told him that I had just DJ'd. I DJ'd at this party, and I said, "Oh, my name's Tara." He goes, "Oh, Tara Reynolds." I was like, "Wow, how do you know me?" He goes, "Yeah, I used to be married to Phil Reynolds." And I'm like a completely different scene, Hardhouse scene in the UK versus wherever he plays internationally. So I was just very surprised that he'd heard of me, even though he's in a completely different world and obviously way bigger than I ever was. So I don't know. It was, sometimes there's a bit of crossover, I guess. Who knows who?
I had the opposite experience in this would be 2002 maybe, and I was DJing in Canada, and it was back when you'd have your flight case with all your records in, and I'm stood, and then in front of me is Roger Sanchez.
Oh wow! So,
like as we're queuing, like we must have been like at the immigration sort of desk, and he turned around, we sort of acknowledged each other, and then we like I can't even remember what, but I remember saying to him, like I sort of acknowledged who he was, and then he looked at the record box and then asked my name and then pretended to know who I was. And I was just like, thanks, mate.
Yeah, he probably turned around and was like, who the fuck was that?
Exactly. But anyway. Okay, so let me look at these questions. What's the... Oh, no, I'm not ever going to even read that one. Weber Music. You had a track that had the Get on Your Knees and Pray.
Mercy, yeah.
Mercy, yeah. He said, what's the weirdest place anyone's ever said get on your knees and pray? We'll skip that.
I'm going to I'll take the fifth on that one.
Yeah. Jamie Thorpe says, I'd love to know more about the story behind the track Mercy. It's an all-time favorite and I still love playing it. What's the story?
I think because I did it with Paul Maddox, and Legend. I think he had the vocal. Yeah, love Paul. He had the vocal. And I went in with some ideas of, sounds and synths and kick drums and all that sort of thing. But he had the vocal that he hadn't used for anything, but was thinking about using it. And it just came together like that. Like he played the vocal. I was like, oh, that's good. That's very, what's the word? Like people will remember that, like it really stands out. And then, then I just, with the sounds that I'd come up with, we just put it together.
Right. There you go, Jamie. Yeah. Answered your question. When I did our little post to ask the questions, I used the DJ the Music track that we did.
Oh, yeah.
T. Ambrose, it's not a question, more of a statement. He said, what a release this was, the original and the Superfast Dolls remix. Fire. But yeah, that was a good track, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good track. Yeah, yep.
I was listening back to it the other day, but obviously when I used it on that post. But yeah, we did like the kind of like the reverse breakdown thing on it. Not a reverse breakdown, but like there's, you know, like normally the riff comes in and builds and builds and then it kicks off.
Yeah.
But on that one, it just kind of like comes out of nowhere, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good track though.
I think that was my only release on Vicious Circle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Well, it's because you were signed to Tidy, you traitor.
I would have been up for a bit on the side.
I hold a grudge. I think we had big plans for you in 2007, but you fucked off back to Australia.
Yeah, I did. She was gone by then.
We've got a question here from a up-and-coming DJ, Lucy Fur.
Oh, my girl, Lucy.
Yeah, gotta love Lucy. She said, who is your favourite back-to-back partner?
Wow, that's a really good question because...
That's a good question. I actually said that. That's a good question.
Yeah. Because I remember back in the day when I was in the UK, I got to play back-to-back with you, BK, and Andy Farley. And at that time, no female had done that. And I thought all... No. I did not say that. You did.
No, I'm joking. Jokes, guys, jokes.
And I thought they all worked well. Yours and my music worked well together. I think it was in, I can't remember where it was, but I remember we were up in a little DJ box and we had the Pioneer 100s, the DJ 100s. That's what I'm
the little silver CD players.
Yeah, the little silver ones.
Yeah.
So it was just in that transition period, like we were still playing vinyl, but just starting to play a few CDs.
Yeah.
And then obviously playing with Andy was amazing. And I think Ben and I worked well together. I can't really remember. But so they were good back-to-back sets. But people would often put Phil and I together, but it didn't, like our music was very different. He's obviously very hard trance. And I play a little bit of hard trance, but I was more banging, hard house. Or a little bit of the, stuff that's a little bit in the middle of that. So those sets were often harder, even though, we were married, they were often harder because the styles didn't mesh very well together,
Yeah.
They were three very good back-to-back sets. And I played back-to-back with Lucy at Rewind last year, and it was fucking amazing. Like our music.
It sounds like Lucy's your favourite then.
Yeah. Well, it was just instinctive again, like I was saying before. I didn't really have to think about, this will go well with that. It just all worked well together. Like it just works really well together. But yeah, unfortunately, the recording didn't work. There was some technical issue, so I've never got to hear it back again. But that was definitely a highlight.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Well, maybe we need some more Lucifer, Tara Reynolds back-to-back sets.
Yes, please. I'd love to do it again.
Rewind 2026.
Yeah.
We'll send them an email.
Yeah.
So, and then in terms of what's on the horizon, have you got any bookings? Like, is there anything coming up for you at the moment?
I am playing at a couple of 50th because that's the vintage room now. You play at 50th. I've just started doing that a few years ago. One of my friends, when I was living in Torquay, she wanted a DJ for a 50th birthday party. I hadn't really done that sort of thing before, and obviously she didn't want the hard house. And so I started buying all this different, like disco remixes of tunes that like familiar tunes, say disco tunes from the 70s, but with an updated remix, and like really cool stuff like Purple Disco Machine and Block and Crown and those kind of artists. I played at a wedding first. I played at a wedding reception of good friends, and then I played at that 50th. And so then I've played at a few 50th since then, playing that kind of music, and a couple of paid gigs as well, playing that style of music. And it's just so much fun to play. So I've got a couple of those coming up in February and March, and I have got a booking coming up that hasn't been announced yet, so I can't say anything. But that's all at the moment in the diary.
Is it going to be announced in the next couple of weeks?
Possibly.
Because this won't be out for a while. Let's not take a chance. We don't want to.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got Cairns in February, and then heading back for we're doing Insomniac's 27th birthday, and then Glazby time again the week after, because that went so well the other week that I just sent Tom a message saying Glazby time 2026, laughing emoji, and then I woke up the next morning and it had announced it.
Oh, that's so good. Where's
that guy does not fuck around.
No. Where did they do Glazby time at?
Well, that was the funny thing. He was looking at venues in Sheffield. He booked the Archers, which is the first club I ever played at.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't even realise. So when I'm like, mate, you do realise that's where I started? He's like, oh no, I just thought it was a good venue. So yeah, that was pretty nuts. And the crazy thing was that there was people in the crowd that were there, maybe not that very first time I played, but certainly those early days when I was playing at the Archers back in 98, 99. There was people in the crowd that used to come back then.
Oh, that's amazing.
Just looking a lot older.
Yeah. And probably with 3 kids under their belt.
Yeah, well, some people bring the kids because the kids are like 20 years old now.
Oh,
so the amount of people at Insomniacs and at Glazby time, well, I said making that is like hundreds of people, but yeah, certainly a few people that were like, oh yeah, this is my son or this is my daughter, and they're out raving with the parents. I tell you, what I did meet while I was back. Have you seen that young kid, Pulsar?
Oh, I've seen his name on flyers. I don't know him though.
Yeah, he's incredible, and he's like such a nice little kid as well. Like so I went to Amber's to do the live stream, and he was like doing the warm up for me and Amber.
Wow.
And his parents were in at first it was just his dad, and his mom got there later. So Amber, in the basement of her house, she's got like this studio, and then she calls it the Buddha room. So it's like all like tie-dye and like it's just like couches and stuff. So we were in there, and then he's in the other side playing. But there's a big screen TV on the wall, so you're kind of watching what's happening next door. And yeah, so he finished his set and came through and like came up and gave me a hug, and like he just like such a sound little kid. But he's playing the stuff that we play because he's like his dad's kind of taught him.
Wow.
Yeah, just nuts to see like this. He's like when he's playing the CDJs, he's like struggling to reach him because he's only little.
How old is he?
13.
Really?
He's been playing I said, how long have you been playing for? He said 11 years. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, he was banging to like 157 he was playing at. So
So you.
Yeah. But actually, I just thought as well when you were saying about those CDJ 100s, I used to have one that I used to carry around with me because back then not everywhere had CD players, did they? You get to some clubs and you would sometimes there'd be those old, I can't remember what brand they were, but with the pitch control it was like a vertical, the thing was like kind of like into the wall, and you put the CDs in, and then the pitch control was like sort of
yeah, I think
like
I
a little.
remember.
But it wasn't really. I don't think it was designed for mixing. It was designed you could speed it up and slow it down. But it was so I used to sort of get it close with the CD, but then when I was mixing, I'd use the vinyl. So like I'd mix with the vinyl side. So like if I knew that if I knew the CD needed to speed up, I'd just slow the other one down. Like a kind of mix in reverse. Yeah. But then those CDJ 100s came out, so I used to carry it around in my car. And I remember doing it was like a student night down south. No, in Norwich. It was Norwich. And I get there, and they'd only got one deck.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
So I'm like, what? I don't know if one of the decks had broken in the night or something, but I just remember like and they're like, oh yeah, you'll just have to play, like, and then take one off and put one on. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I ran out to the car and then got the CDJ and wired it up, and then managed and obviously just played a set like that.
Yeah.
But if I'd not had it in the car with me, it would have been ridiculous. Yeah. So, all right, darling. Well, I think that wraps it up.
Okay.
25 years. Quick as that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I started New Year's Day 2000, so it's nearly 26 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus, yeah.
No, 99. No, so it's nearly 27 years.
27. I was going to say, you said 99 before. Yeah.
So no, nearly 27 years. Wow.
Yeah. No, I remember, like, it only seems a few months since Tom booked me to play Insomniac's 25th birthday.
Yeah, right.
And I've just got back from doing the 26th birthday. Like, time just like
I know.
flies by now.
I know. This year has just gone so fast.
Well, I reckon we need to hit up the Rewind crew and see if we can get me and you on this year.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yes.
Next year.
Yeah,
26.
Yeah. For a back-to-back or just a 2 sets?
Do a little back-to-back if you want.
Yeah, I'll always be up for that with you.
Try and do. I tell you what we should do. You do an hour. We do an hour back-to-back, and then I'll do an hour, or the other way around.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
Do that.
But remember, after I
look at us just organising the lineup for it.
I know. Sorry, guys.
Right, guys. This is what we've decided.
This is what time we're going to do it. Remember we played at the Hardhouse reunion in Auckland last year, and I came on after you, and you finished on 157.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Jesus. Like anything I played after that was going to sound flat because it had gone from this fast to a normal speed.
I played in Brisbane in August, and the promoter left me on 160.
Oh, gosh, that's like Gabba Techno.
Well, and then Brisk, you know Brisk? Stimulant DJs guy, yeah. He was on after me, and he was playing at 184.
Oh, my God.
He just sounded bananas.
Oh, yeah. How do you dance to that?
I left.
Yeah. And you're not really a dancer. I've never, in all the years I've known you, I've never seen you dance.
Well, I used to dance on a podium, if you can believe that.
You do?
Yeah, those were the speed days.
Yeah, I'll need video evidence to believe that.
And then I found Eckies and just stopped. Sat down after that. And then I became a DJ, so I'm like, I'm definitely not dancing.
Before I die, I want to see you dance.
Okay. Let's see if we can rewind. We'll do a rewind.
All right. Yeah. In our back-to-back.
Yeah. Actually, last time I played Rewind was during COVID, and the people were allowed to dance so long as they didn't move the feet.
Oh, that's right. That was it wasn't I don't think it was a full event. They did like a little. Did you go to Sub Rosa? Is that where it was? Like they did kind of like a live stream for while people were in lockdown or something. And I remember there was all these restrictions.
Everyone had to be like spaced apart. Yeah. And if anyone, the bouncers were like around, and if anyone started moving the feet, they'd come over and say, stand still. Oh, so people just
chair dancing.
All right, darling. Well,
all right.
Thanks for coming on.
That's all right. Thanks for having me on.
I'll see you soon, hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, for our
Rewind
back-to-back.
2026.
Yeah.
Send him an email today.
I will. I'll send him the recording.
All right, darling. I'll see you soon.
All
Take
right.
care.
See ya.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
You are listening to Hardhouse History with Paul Glazby.